Greetings, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on today. You know, this summer and just kind of what we're experiencing as a country right now has kind of shifted us into, especially as parents, to where we have to be involved more with our children's education. And so, what we're doing today is we have Cherie from Mayflower School District. She's going to give us some tips on tutoring. So if you're like me, I guess I can admit to say that I probably delegated the whole thing to teachers as a whole. And so now, just thankful to be able to be involved in my kids' life. So now I'm able to, engage with them more when it comes to their education. So I wanted to bring Cherie on here to just kind of talk with us about, what can we do to some things as parents that we can do to help our kids in their education. So Cherie, so I guess so how about this, right? I have a 5-year-old, and I've been engaged in my 4 and 5-year-old. I've been engaged now into their reading, into their writing, into memorization and things like that. I guess what are some tips that you can give me in reference to tutoring them on my own?
First of all, I'd suggest read daily, because you want to develop a habit, and the more often you do something, the more likely you are to develop a habit. So you want to read daily. Where your children are 4 and 5 years old, you'll need to be reading to them and with them as they progress. And so that'd be the first step number one. Step number one,
gotcha. All right, so with reading, right, there are so many books out there. It's all kind of stuff. So I guess, I know you and I were talking, I should probably look at some things that they're interested in.
Yes.
So my son, he loves animals and dinosaurs. So should I go find a book that he likes about dinosaurs and kind of take it from there?
Yes. But one thing you want to consider with that is make sure it's on his reading level.
Okay.
I mean, well, he's not going to be, at 4 or 5 years old, he's not going to be reading on his own yet. But yes, as far as an interest, something that they're interested in, they're more likely to pay more attention to. We're all like that, though. I mean, we need something that we're interested in. And so since that is his, I would encourage that. You'll start with dinosaurs. You can, other animals as well, that's where you'll expand. Like dinosaurs may be his focus, and you can go deeper, and the more interested he is in that, you can expand his little world and to share more interesting facts about dinosaurs and where they live and the history of them. And then you can expand it to other animals, and you just kind of go from there and let him be the guide to a degree on what he is interested in.
Gotcha. So kind of, I probably need to be more engaged in finding out what his interest is, and then I can go get some materials to start walking him through.
Right. And I think with he being as young as he is, you wouldn't have to stick just with animals because his world is so new. So you can still add a lot of things. But as a child ages, you reach, middle school and high school levels, more of their interest levels is something that would keep them engaged, because students have a bad tendency to drop off and stop reading because it's just a different pace and different world like that. Yeah. So that's, I think, as they get older is when it tends to be a little more important to really hone in on things they're interested in.
Gotcha. So definitely hone in on things that they're interested in. Read with them daily. How long would you recommend I read with them daily?
That I wouldn't. I've always heard like 20 minutes a day.
Okay.
But I don't know. That tends to be the common number or time that you hear.
Gotcha.
But I think as much as anything, it needs to happen every day.
Gotcha.
It needs to happen.
Okay.
It needs to happen consistently. Whatever it is, it needs to happen consistently.
Gotcha.
And it needs to be on as your children get older, on their reading level. Because they can be in the 4th grade, but they may not be on the 4th grade reading level.
Okay.
So your goal here is to create lifelong learners, because reading is the foundation of all learning. So if they can read, then there's a lot more than they can learn. So if you're developing a habit, that's one thing. If you're creating something or finding something that they're interested in, they're more than likely more willing to engage and do that, but they need to be able to find some success at it too. And so if, for example, your son, if you give him something that looks like an encyclopedia, and that really is dating me, but you give him an encyclopedia, he might not be that interested in that because it's way out there. But if it's something more on his level, then as he can find success in it, and then continue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So definitely, finding those things that he's interested in, some, and I can expand it. From there. Now, you mentioned about finding something on their reading level. So, I guess are certain books kind of going to tell me what age or what reading level it is?
Mm-hmm.
How can I guess identify what kind of books I need to be choosing based on that interest level?
A lot of times you can, if you're getting them at a library, you can check that kind of thing. There's stuff for like teenagers, is juvenile age range, and so typically those are, supposed to be appropriate. That's playing a little loose with that, but that's supposed to be something like that, and it's about things that they would be interested in at their age. Those kinds of things they might be facing. The characters a lot of times are teenagers, and that kind of stuff. But as far as actually finding it depends on the type of book that it is to determine if it's the age level or not.
Okay.
That I'm not sure of.
Gotcha. Now, okay, so let's talk about teenagers for a minute, because I mean they're, my kids 4 and 5, they're just full of life, and you put certain things in front of them is great.
Yeah.
Teenagers are probably going to be a little bit different, right? So
they're all a little different.
In your experience, what's some good approaches towards tutoring the parents engaging into that process with the teenager?
So you're asking me how to make them do it? Is that what you're asking me? That's what I think I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah. Well, then you're going to have to set the stakes up for it. I think, if it were me and I was trying to get them to encourage them to read more, I definitely provide an opportunity for having something that they're interested in on their reading level, and as they get older, that's a span of whatever. When they're younger, it's more specific. But anyway, I would choose that kind of stuff, and then it become like a chore or like a reward or whatever. This is something that you do, and then you get this, or we're not doing any of this until that's taken care of.
Okay.
And as far as like monitoring that when it becomes a teenager, what did you read? What was it about? Some comprehension, because
for sure
they're pretty slick.
Yeah. So do I need to be reading these books with them?
Well, you might, because they can make up stuff. It's just like you may be hearing a story that's not even in that book.
Oh man! So we got to start reading Great Gatsby and all this other type of stuff.
Well, you're the parent. You get to set this up how you want. It's just like you can funnel that genre that you want. If that's what you want to read, then okay.
Gotcha. So definitely be engaged into your children's learning, into your children's education. So regardless of the age, it's about finding something in their interest, finding something on their reading level, and just being engaged with them. And like you said, asking questions that you can check if they're comprehending it or not.
Right.
And I think that's key. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope that this blessed you all to where you can engage with your children at home just on tips for tutoring. All right, we love you. Be blessed.